Before I start, I just want to say thank you to Slam Club Oceana for encouraging me to come up here.
Impact!
Dear Ellis, I remember that you cried in school because a boy pantsed you the other day. You came home. Your face was wet and red with smeared tears. The look on it told me that you wanted to tell me why you were hurt, but you couldn't. You held back the second round of tears because you thought I might shame you like the kids at school did. They laughed and pointed. They saw in you a vulnerability which they themselves had but could not reveal. Slinging words like sticks and stones, they called you a chicken and a little girl. They made you feel weak. I should have told you how strong you were. I should have told you it was brave to cry, because you had to, because you knew they would mock you, but you cried anyway. I should have told you how perfect you were, that your feelings made you human, that they made you you. You ran to your room, and I wanted to talk to you. I couldn't reach out. I couldn't let myself be as strong as you were. A couple of weeks later, it happened again. This time it was because a girl called you ugly. She said you looked like a dog because I kept forgetting to give you a haircut. A pebble she casually dropped into your mind sent ripples in all directions, waves growing fast, wide as if that small insult was not a rock, but really a boulder. Your grandparents, Lolo and Lola, were there. Lola helped you rub in the tears with a washcloth, hoping to make you look less miserable. You couldn't stop crying. She tried to console you, telling you that you were a big boy and big boys don't cry. After letting you know how much of a man you were, your Lolo told you that if these bullies ever messed with you again, you could bring a bat to school. He said that you could mess them up. You asked why, and he told you that you were a man. You had to stand up for yourself. He didn't want to hear you cry. That wasn't manly. So you dug a pit into your stomach and dropped whatever sadness you had and let it hide itself there. I washed your wet pillow sheets. I assumed that the damper they were, the worse it had hurt. Each time your friends thought you were awkward or the 8th graders bullied you, you couldn't tell anyone but your pillows. You were an artist, and you had no supplies except your tear ducts and those pillows. I know you wanted to hurt them, let them feel the pain that they had built up in you all those years. You thought about ending it all. You thought about ending it with a bang, not the whimper you were used to. You wanted to go out in a blaze of glory. Maybe they'd remember you better. Maybe they couldn't hurt you in your sleep. I took that away from you. I stole your only art supplies. We were arguing, and I got frustrated, and then it was all a blur too fast. My streak of nonviolence ended when I pushed you over. I started kicking with you because your Lolo had told me the same thing. Man the fuck up. Don't be a pussy. Stop being a girl. I was being a man. Was this what it meant to be a man? I couldn't let you know how I felt with my words, so I let you know with my fists, my muscle, my bravado, my manhood. At first you cried. Then you ran away because now the bully was in your home. When you came back that night, your mom told you not to tell anyone else about it. The next year, you almost used that bat on a kid who pushed you too far. That same bat that Lolo had told the both of us to wield. It's a good thing someone stopped you. They stopped you before you were arrested, before you hurt another human being, before you became an article in the paper, another quarter inch on a bar graph, an extra 0.05% in some piece of paper. I should have been that person. I should have told you not to bottle up your anger. I should have let you know it was okay to have feelings, that it didn't make you less of a man, it made you more of one. I was the weak one, not you. When you got back after running away, I wanted to tell you I was sorry. I couldn't. I didn't say anything, and you didn't either. I never called you a bitch. I never called you a pussy. I never told you to man up. But I can tell because of the way you get angry with us now. Because you come home with furrowed brows instead of red eyes. And because I haven't seen you cry since then, that you got the message. I'm so sorry. Sincerely, your dad.
It's really awe-inspiring to watch a young person write through trauma, write through from the perspective of somebody else, especially somebody that's close to them and that they love. It took me a long time, I don't know about y'all, but it took me a long time to understand where my mother was coming from. I had a really tough relationship with my mom. I love her, she's amazing, and she's given me so much. And yet, if I wish I was 16, 17, to be able to step outside of myself and see from her perspective. Thank you. So these numbers don't matter, but go ahead, Jose.
Yeah, I'm going to go through these numbers really quickly. Low score 8.8, 9, 9.4, 9.6. I really appreciate folks coming up in groups too, and students supporting each other, friends supporting friends. Like that is like a great, amazing thing to see across the board.